admit them. All right, there we go. So welcome everyone to tonight's FLP presentation. My name's Vanessa. As I said before, I'm on the sales and marketing side. It's lovely to have you all this evening. Right, so we've done the poll and most of you are new, which is fantastic. So the agenda this evening is to, I'm going to take you through FLP, tell you about the entry routes, and I don't know if everyone's aware, with the CIMA qualification, you can actually become CIMA qualified. I'll talk about that, about ideal start dates, pricing. I'll also do a demo into the FLP demo and show you what that's about. All right, and then we'll end off with questions and answers. Okay. So why study CIMA? So the best way for me to explain CIMA is if you take a finance degree and an MBA and you put it together, that's CIMA. It is a fantastic qualification to have. It is really made up of technical skills, business skills, people skills, leadership skills. In the middle is the digital skills, and centered around everything is ethics, integrity, and professionalism. Right, now the CIMA qualification is made up of 3 pillars, right? There is the enterprise pillars, and that is covers things like strategy, risk, HR, marketing. The P pillar is the heart of CIMA. That's a performance pillar, and that is the management accounting. And then the F pillar is the financial reporting. So then within each level, you start off with a certificate level, then the operational level, the management level, and then the strategic level. So that is, sorry, I just want to mute someone. Someone's talking. If someone can help me mute. Luca, it says one capacity is full. I don't know if you're battling there. Okay. All right. So that is what the qualification framework covers. Now, there are 3 ways that you can get exemptions for CIMA. It's a professional qualification, for instance, SIPA, SAIPA, you can get exemptions. Your educational qualification, and there is, if you're not a member, for instance, SIPA, and you don't have any academic qualifications, then you can get experience based on your role and experience, and that is called the elite program. Okay, so those are the 3 different ways you can get exemptions. Now, the most popular way of getting exemptions, of which most students will actually ask me for exemptions, is the is your academic qualifications. So, for instance, your plain BCom, you will start on the operational level with E1. BCom accounting, you will start on the management level with E2. BCom finance, management level with E2. BCom accounting science, E2. If you have a postgraduate diploma in management accounting, E2. Postgraduate diploma in financial management, E2. If you have an advanced diploma in management accounting, you're on E1. If you have a diploma in accounting science, you are in E1, and advanced certificate in accounting science, E1. If you have a BCom honors in financial management, you will start on the case study. These qualifications on the management level are with the assumption your qualification must not be older than 7 years. If your qualification is older than 7 years, they'll bump you down a level if you're on the management level. Where I've got operational, you'll still start on the operational level, even if your qualification is older. Okay. Now, I spoke earlier and I said that with a qualified CIMA, you can go become a qualified CA. You have to have an undergraduate degree, which is equivalent to NQF level 7. Plus, you need to complete the CIMA qualification, and then you go straight and write the APC exam, and then you can become a CA. So with CIMA to become qualified, you have to have 3 years relevant experience. And that replaces the psycho article. So you don't need psycho articles on top of it. To complete CIMA, you need the PER. Okay. Now, to explain the difference between the traditional route and FLP, I'm going to try and illustrate it with based on a bus and a plane method, right? So think of the traditional route as coming from Johannesburg to Cape Town by bus, and the FLP as coming from Joburg to Cape Town, you fly, right? It's going to be a lot quicker. So, for instance, if you have a BCom accounting and you are going to start on the management level, if you are going to go the traditional route or come by bus, it will take you 2 years to complete, right? It's roughly a year level. You have to write 8 exams and then you are qualified. With FLP, you can take out a 1-year FLP subscription and you can complete 2 levels in 1 year. The reason being is you don't have to write all these exams. The only exam you're going to write is the management case study and the strategic case study. The rest of these subjects that you would have written on the traditional level, you will write as an online competency. And I will demonstrate the FLP portal later on. Okay, so that in essence is the difference. If you're starting on the operational level, you can take out a 2-year FLP and you can finish 3 levels in 2 years. So the only exams you will do is the operational case study, the management case study, and then the strategic case study. All right. So that's in essence is the difference between the traditional route and FLP. All right. Now, how does FLP work? It works on a subscription basis, right? So a 1-year FLP, you can take, you can complete 2 levels, and there's 2 exams. A 2-year FLP, you can complete 3 levels in 2 years. There's 3 exams. And a 3-year FLP, you can complete the whole of CIMA in 3 years, and there'll be 3 exams. All right. We will assist you. So if you're starting on the management level, take out a 1-year FLP. If you're starting on operational, take out a 2, and certificate, take out a 3-year FLP. Okay, so we have 3 different types of FLP. So you can get them in 1-year, 2-year, or 3-year, in standard, premium, and premium plus. Our most popular option is premium. So with either of these 3, you will get access to the FLP platform. It includes a registration and subscription fee. You can start anytime. It has a 1-year, 2-year, or 3-year subscription in all 3. You get online tuition material and question practices. You get exam prep materials and mocks. You have tutor access by email, and you get 2 exam tokens per level. So you get two exam chances. Think of it as a rewrite, 2 for ops, 2 for man, and 2 for strat. If you're starting on the management level, you'll obviously get 2 for man and 2 for strat. Okay. Now, the premium includes case study classes with IBTC, because those are the only exams that you're going to write. And I strongly recommend that you choose the FL premium option and join us for case study classes. The standard does not include case study classes with us, and the pass rate between standard and premium is chalk and cheese. So if you're going to choose anything, choose the premium option. All right. Now, the premium plus, those really is for students that haven't studied in a long time. And if you're battling on any subjects, you will get access to the, you can get pre-recorded lectures on subjects that you're battling with, that you can watch that particular subject. But again, at IBTC, we will make some recommendations of where you are, of which option you should choose. Okay. So, what's very important for this year, if you're wanting to study this year, is when is a good chance to start, right? And the ideal start date is 4 times in the year. It is the beginning of March, the beginning of June, the beginning of September, and then the beginning of December. So the next ideal start date is actually the beginning of December, right? Excuse me, what that means is if you start your FLP the beginning of December, it means that your subscription will expire in November next year. So you will have 4 opportunities to write your case study: February, May, August, and November. So the beginning of December is an ideal start date if you want to do FLP. Okay. Those of you who want to know what is the pricing, the 1-year FLP costs 75,000. 2-year FLP is 117,500, and the 3-year is 167,500. Okay. Now, the 75,000 for 1 year is for 2 levels. So within a year, you can do 2 levels. So it's not 75 per year, it's 75 in total, where you can do 2 years, right? The 2-year FLP is 117,500, where you can do 3 levels in 2 years, all right? And then the 3-year FLP is where you can do 4 levels, the whole of CIMA, okay? Now, these prices is the premium option, which is our most popular option and has a really good pass rate. We have partnered with Student Hero. Student Hero is like the HIP of insurance, but for college funding. They go to all the banks on your behalf, and based on your credit score, you may be eligible for a competitive loan rate. All right. Now, I'm just going to stop sharing for the moment because I just want to go to the chat and just see if anyone has got any questions. All right, so I see Davita's asked, if you have psycho articles, do you need to submit PER? You still need to submit PER, but your psycho articles will definitely count towards it. Once you pass the management case study, you then submit your PER. Okay. The same question then from Mbali. Yes, your 3-year articles will count towards the PER. Yes, you have to submit so what all PER is, when you submit your PER, you have to show that you have 3 years relevant experience, and you get it signed off by a current or a previous boss. just to show that you have the 3 years PER. All right. Then someone's asking, do you have to have a South African degree to be able to do CIMA and to become CICA qualified? No, you don't. There is a handy exemption calculator on CIMA for all international qualifications, which will let you know what level you are to start at. In terms of to become CICA qualified, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure, but I can find out from you. I have got a direct person at CICA. So if anyone has any questions, you're more than willing to email info@IBTC. I'm actually going to put it in the chat if you've got any questions. So please let me know. Okay, I have a BCom Accounting Science Honours. Probably the management level at E2, Shirley, as long as it's not older than 2 years. Could you please chat about the registration process? So you just register on the CIMA website, but we do all the rest for you in terms of getting you access to the FLP process. But one of my, someone in sales, a sales advisor can set up a Teams call with you and show you how to register. Just email info@IBTC. Okay, what is the pass rate on different packages? Good question. On the premium, our pass rate hovers around 70-71%. It is about 60% on the standard rate. Keenan is asked, do I have to do the APTA board courses as well if I want to write CICA APC exam? No. Once you're qualified with CIMA, as long as you have an undergraduate degree, you go straight to the APCA exam. Okay. Right. Suhal is asking, what is the pass rate on the management and strategic? Overall, our pass rate is 72%. On the strategic level, we normally get 90s. Okay, on the strategic level. This presentation will be on YouTube. We don't submit the slides, but the presentation will be uploaded on YouTube. All right. Someone said they need to start on the operational level, but I have articles and I'm AGA. I got my degree in 2019. Please email info@IBTC with your certificate and transcripts, and we've got a direct line with the exemption team, so we'll check for you. What are the payment options for FLP? Fred, as I said, we have partnered with Student Hero. They go to all the banks on your behalf, and you can pay it off in 6 months, a year, 24 months through them. Okay, payment plan. Yes, we have to have the payment plan upfront, full payment, should I say. But if you partner with Student Hero, they go to all the banks, and then banks pay us upfront, and then you pay the banks back. Okay, I have a quick question on the CIMA syllabus. If it covers auditing and accountant standards, as much detail as the CTA syllabus does. My only advice would be, if you are wanting to become auditing, I would rather do ACCA. I don't know if you know now, with the ACCA in South Africa, you can become a registered auditor in South Africa. If you want more information, please email info@ibtc.co.za. Very good question here. If you are on the traditional route to transition to FLP, very good question. If you're a current student and you want to move to FLP, right, you just move like for like. So in this case, someone's passed E1. When you get access to the FLP portal, you will see that your FLP on the E1 competency, it will say exempt. Okay, so you move like for like, but the learning will still be there on E1 in case you want to refer back to it, but you don't need to complete the competency test. Okay, so someone's saying, I will study through a bursary at work. What do you need if I were to register with the bursary? So what normally happens is we supply you with an pro form or with an invoice in the company's name, and then you submit it to your bursary, and then they pay us. We have to have payment upfront before you can start. I have a diploma, accounting's 10-year-old with working experience. You'll start at E1, yes. Does the traditional route for FLP have a higher pass rate? Very good question, Lisa. The pass rate at IBTC between the traditional route and the FLP hovers within 1%. So one semester FLP will be 72 and traditional be 71, and then vice versa. So they within 1 or 2% of each other. So very good questions. All right. How long are the OTs valid for? As long as you've paid your subscription fee each year, they're still valid. So if you've passed E1 and F1, you can join FLP and then just have to do P1 on either traditional or FLP. So as long as you've paid your subscription fee. If you haven't paid your subscription fee, as long as you've got something in writing to say you passed E1 and F1, we can assist you with that. Okay. What is Samsung's asked, what is the difference between FLP and traditional? The FLP is an accelerated route to complete CIMA where you have less exams to do. All right. So the only exams you have to do on FLP is the case study, right? And you have to get 80 out of 150 to pass. Okay. So I just want to actually work that out. They don't go in percentages, right? They go, you need to get 80 out of 150. So as a percentage, it is, let me just work this out quick. It's about 53%. So that's what you need to get. All right. For someone that hasn't studied in years, is it better to take the traditional route or FLP? Gershwin, if you're working in finance and accounting, I would say it's quite fine to do FLP. But you're more than welcome to, and that's for anyone in this meeting, email info@IBTC and we can set up a separate Teams or Zoom call with you. And then we can assist you. All right, so someone's asking, so if I pay 117,500 this year, no, you don't have to pay again. So 117,500 is for a 2-year FLP. So if you start the first week of December, your subscription is going to expire November 27. So you don't pay anything. 117,500 is for 2-year FLP. Okay. You don't pay, the 117 covers 2 years. 75,000 covers 1 year. All right. So it works not by calendar month. It works the month you start at, then the clock starts ticking. Okay. Someone's asked if you have a CIPA qualification. If your CIPA membership is up to date, Silke, you will start at the management level. Okay. As long as you're in good standing with CIPA, you will start at the management level. Okay. What would you advise someone completing a BCom? I presume it's BCom Finance professionally. If it is, you're probably going to go to the management level, and FLP will be ideal. You can complete management and strategic level in a year. Okay, very good question. What is the difference in price between FLP and traditional level for the management and the strategic? So we would love all of you to study with us. If you're studying with us and starting on the management level and assuming you pass everything first time, you're looking at about 55,000 for the management level and about 60 for the strategic level. So you're looking at about 110,000 Rand for management and strategic on the traditional level. So FLP is cheaper long term at 75,000, but you have to pay upfront. Okay, TP said, sorry, I joined late. No problem, TP. I want to use CIMA to, okay. I know you said there that you've got a CTA. Do you have an undergraduate degree? If you have an undergraduate degree, then you go straight to the APC exam. Okay. TP, maybe you want to email info@ibtc.co.za with your contact details, and we can set up a separate meeting if you're in late. Okay, so good question, Lisa. What are the number of planned hours per week should we aim to be successful? If you're doing a 1-year FLP, or even a 2-year for that matter, if you can give me 1.5 to 2 hours Monday to Thursday, have a break on a Friday, who wants to study on a Friday, and then give me either 3 hours on a Saturday or Sunday, or 1.5 each, you will be able to complete 2 levels in 1 year. Okay. Is it possible to complete the management and strategic case study in 1 year? Yes, it is absolutely possible. So for instance, if you start the first week of December, your subscription will expire the end of November next year. You can attempt your management case study in February. Worst case scenario, you fail, you rewrite it in May next year. Then you try your strategic case study in August next year. Worst case scenario, you fail, you rewrite it in November next year, and you still within your 1-year FLP. So included in the 75,000, you get 2 exam tokens for management, 2 for strategic, and it includes case study classes with us for management and strategic. And then if you're doing a 2-year FLP, it includes case study classes with us as well for the operational level. Okay, very good question from Caitlin. What happens if the subscription ends and you haven't completed all the exams? Let's say you take out a 1-year FLP and you pass the management case study, you complete your strategic competencies, but you fail your strategic case study and your subscription ends. You don't need to take out a whole nother 1-year FLP. You just hop over to the traditional level and you purchase another exam fee for your strategic case study. Okay, a good question. I'm at the strategic level, currently registered to do P3, but will I still pay the same amount? Yes, you will, because the shortest period for FLP is 1 year. So unfortunately, you have to. I have a bachelor's in accounting science and postgrad in accounting science. As long as you are not older than 7 years, but please email us. Okay, I've completed a BCom degree in math, and sorry, I don't know what MAC is, and a postgraduate diploma. As long as it's not older than 7 years, you should be able to start on the management level. Okay. Someone's asking, is this correct? If I start in the first week of December, I'm on a 2-year FLP, then my subscription will end in November 27. That is correct. Okay, so thank you for all the questions. Great questions. What is the cost of an exam on a traditional route? For the strategic case study, I think it costs about 5,500 Rand for the exam fee. Okay, I'm going to now show you the FLP portal so I can demonstrate it for you. And I just want you to know, if you would like to start the first week of December, we have to have payment by the end of October. Okay, that's not our rules. These are CIMA's rules. We have to get our order into CIMA by the end of October. All right. But as I said, and I'm just going to put it in the chat again, if you would like further information, if you would like a quote, or you want a one-on-one with a sales advisor, please email info@ibtc.co.za. All right. I'm now going to show you the FLP portal. If I can ask my colleague Sunil, can you just tell me if you can see the screen?
Yes, we can, Vanessa.
Excellent. Right, so this is the FLP dashboard. You can decide when you're going to start. It will spit out exactly where you're going to finish. So when we look at the competencies, when you join FLP, regardless of what level you have access to all the levels. Can you see there's foundational, operational, management, and strategic? Depending where you start based on your exemptions, or if you are a traditional student and you move over, you'll start like for like. So you will have a star next to the level that you're starting at. So in this case, it assumes I'm starting on the management level, right? And that's why there's a star. But I have access to the strategic level straight away. If you are starting on the operational level, you will have a star here, but you have access to the management and the strategic level, right? These blue blocks is the enterprise subject I was talking about. In this case, for the management level, it's E2. The orangey brown color is the P2, which is management accounting, and the teal green is F2, the financial reporting. So because you don't have to write exams for E2, P2, and F2, you just do an online competency. Now I'm going to demonstrate project management. This is a quick and easy subject, just for demonstration purposes, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how the competency works. Now with FLP, there's no textbooks. All the learning is done online, right? You can print, however, and make notes as you go along. So what you will do is you will come in and you'll start learning and learning, and you're reading and learning, and you're learning and learning. And sometimes you watch a quick video, and then there will be a knowledge check, right? So I've got to match these activities to the phases. So monitor progress, I'm going to put that under execution and control. Carry out feasibility study, I'm going to put that under initiation. Detail the work to be carried out, I'm going to put that under planning. And finalize lessons under closure. That, I think, is the answer I submit, and it tells me it's correct. So I carry on, and here's another knowledge check. And the question is, in which phase of its life cycle is the project? Let's say I think that's the answer, I submit, and it comes back and tells you incorrect and why it's incorrect. You can, however, retake it. So you'll go back, read properly, come back and say, I see it's project execution and control. I submit, and it comes back and it says correct. Then I'm carrying on, and I'm carry on. Once you get to the end of the learning, now I deliberately chose a quick and easy one, right? Others can be much longer, but this one is a quick one. Once you get to the end of the learning, you have to do a competency test, right? This competency test is not timed, and you can do it over and over until you get it right, okay? In this particular competency test, there's only 3 questions. You need to get all 3 right to pass the competency test, okay? So let's say in the first question, I think this is the answer, I submit, and it comes back, it says correct. I move on to the next one. Let's say I think that's the answer, I submit, and it comes back incorrect. But because I'm in the competency test, I can't retake the question. So I move on to the final one, and let's say I think that's the answer, I submit, and I come to the end, and that one's correct. But because I didn't get all 3 right, CIMA says to you, do it again until you get it right. Once you get it right, your circle comes with a tick, and once you've got all the circles correct in a particular block, you get one big circle like this. So if you're starting on the management level, you'll start with your first E2 competency, work your way to the final one. And once you've finished all these competencies, you're going to then join us for case study classes, right? Now, let's say you write your management case study on the 15th of November. It takes 6 weeks for your results to come up. You don't wait. The very next day, you go to the strategic level while you're waiting for your results, and you start doing your strategic competencies. If you're starting on the operational level, and let's say you write your operational case study the 8th of November, you 6 weeks, you don't wait for 6 weeks, you go straight away to the management level and you start doing your competencies. Okay, now also under exam review, there's a whole lot of information about, you get the pre-scene for the case study, there's mock exams that you can do as well. There's some great stuff on the dashboard. You will be joining us for case study classes, and our IBTC lecturer will give you a mock exam, 2 mock exams. They'll mark